Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. I'm Donny Samson. I'm our CEO here at Samson Properties. And first, I want to thank you for your time. Your time is your most valuable asset, and you were willing to come spend some of it this morning learning about Samson Properties. So I'm so thankful for that. I'm really proud of everything we're doing here, and hopefully over the next hour or so, you'll see all the things that we're happy and proud to be giving to all of our realtors. So when I get started here, the first thing I like to do is start us off with a hype reel, gets us all hyped up and ready to jump in and learn all about Samson Properties. So Chris McCullough is our lovely event coordinator. She's going to be running our slides today. Chris is also going to fire us up with a great hype reel to get us going and started here today. So fire it up, Chris. All right, nailed the downbeat. Going to be a good presentation. So get you a quick flavor of what it is to be at Samson Properties. What I like to do when I get started here is I start with a timeline, kind of give you the history of where Samson is, how we got to where we are today in 2023 sitting in front of you. So the guy in the top left there, really good-looking guy, 19 years older than me, a little bit more gray hair, is my dad, Donny Samson. He started selling real estate in 1986, worked for various small companies until 2000. In 2000, he decided, hey, I want to do my own thing. He just had his best friend and an assistant at the time. He said, hey, I'll grow a little team, 5 or 10 people, and maybe I'll just manage the team and get to sell a little bit less. What he didn't really anticipate was his passion for, as he would say, changing people's lives. He loved the profession of real estate. He loved the idea that if you worked harder, sold more homes, you made more money. He loved the idea that if you were out there and you paved your own path and you had all your work done, you could go play golf on Thursday afternoon too. He loved that part. But Donny, he was just so passionate about it. Our first 60 realtors at Samson were all brand new agents. He loved the idea that, he was our dry cleaner, our waiter, or whoever. He would talk to them, realize they weren't totally happy in their job, and he said, come with me, I'll change your life, I'll help teach you a new profession in real estate. So it was a fun ride. So along that way, he convinced a lot of people to join Samson Properties and help change their lives. Well, he also recruited one of my good friends at that time to sell real estate. And you see my picture coming in there in 2003. Well, at that time, I was 22 years old in the summer of 2003. And if you remember when you were 22 years old, you wanted to do whatever it was that your parents weren't doing. That was my dad's thing. I wanted nothing to do with real estate. But my now wife of 19 years, Meredith, we were dating at the time, and she said, Donny, maybe you should think about real estate because Tokir's killing it in real estate, and he's kind of an idiot. And he was kind of an idiot. He was my idiot. He was one of my good friends, but he was doing great. I was like, well, if Tokir can do it, maybe I should try. Just kidding, Tokir. I love you. But he's been in the business now 20 years and still doing a great job. So I got in real estate in 2003, and I guess it stuck because here I am 20 years later. I'll pick myself back up in the story in a second. But from 2000 to 2011, we were an 80-20 company, so 80% to the realtor, 20% to the company, and back then that was a great split if you're in the real estate business. A lot of 50-50, 60-40, 70-30s in the 2000s. Well, a couple crazy things happened in the real estate market. From 03 to 06, everybody in real estate was amazing. Everything we touched turned to sold. We were the smartest people in the world, and it was a great time to be alive, right? 06 to 11, not so much. Everything was a short sale. Everything was a foreclosure. It wasn't a great time to be a realtor. A lot of companies had some struggles. Well, when your business isn't going great, you investigate all parts of your business. So 2 really important things happened with Samson Properties during this time period. One, in 2009, we opened Cardinal Title Group. We opened our own title company, 100% ownership. My dad and I had been partners and Samson had been partners in real estate companies for a little bit before, and we knew enough to be dangerous. So we hired a couple of lawyers, started our own company, and let's rock and roll. So it ended up being the smartest decision my dad ever made because he started our own title company, and we started to realize that we had earned pretty good money from title deals. Well, how to get more title deals? Well, you need more agents, you need more transactions, and you can make the title money. Well, we also started to feel this commission pressure in 08 and 09, 2010, where some of our top agents were all of a sudden leaving for 85-15 or 90-10 or 100% were becoming more popular. So we thought about it for a few months, and we flipped our business plan on its head, and we went to a 100% company with a transaction fee in 2011. Now, we had 150 realtors at the time. They loved us. They got 20% raise overnight for staying with the same company, so that was great for them. But we knew we were going to have to recruit. We were going to have to grow and fill in that void because we just gave away 20% of our, all that profit we were giving away in commission. We were going to have to fill that void with more transactions and more Cardinal title closings. When you step back and think about an 80-20 and 100% company, what you're considering, if you work for an 80-20 company, you're making a deal with your real estate company. You're going to give them 20% of your money. They're going to give you back something you value, whether it's brand name, brokers, resources, offices, whatever it is they're giving you back, you think it's worth that 20%. Or maybe you don't, which is why you're here today considering Samson Properties, right? But when you think about a 100% company and you stereotype a 100% company, you think, well, I get to get all my money, but maybe I get what I pay for. I don't expect a ton of resources and support and offices because I'm not really paying them any money. Well, both these are flawed. Here I give up 20% of my money, and here maybe I'm not going to be the best realtor that I could be because I'm not getting everything I want or need. Well, we wanted to be both. What if you could be that real estate company that gave you all the tools, all the resources, all the support, all the offices, and let you keep all your money? So that's what our goal was to be. Now, we weren't there in 2011, but today, in 2023, I think we are that company that gives you everything under the sun and 100% of your money. Now, people say, well, Donny, it doesn't make sense, right? You can't make all the money if you don't get any money. How do you pay for all the stuff? Well, we own the title company. We can't make you, pay you, or incentivize you to use Cardinal Title Group. But if we kill you with kindness, kill you with great resources, kill you with great support, people are like, well, how can I help? Try and use the title company. Okay, cool. They do a great job. Great. Keep using the title company. And then we take all those profits, and my job is to pour them into making Samson and Cardinal the best two companies that they can be to support our realtors. So that's our win-win circle that we created. So my dad started recruiting 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2016, he came to me and he said, Don, I need some help managing this place. We've gotten a lot bigger. We got 800 agents now. I became our COO and helped my dad start to manage and build out the company. A lot of the foundation pieces and things we're going to talk about here today. I had sold from 03 to 16. I had some success. I sold, $350 million in business, was probably selling 70, 80 homes a year at the end. And that's not to brag about what I was doing. Obviously, that's great. It's to say that I was a realtor. I was in everything where you all are every single day. That's where I was. I had a seat in my master bedroom closet that I would always go up and hide and negotiate in. It was like, why the master bedroom closet? Because, I have a wife that I adore and 4 beautiful daughters and a dog, and my family's great, but you try negotiating with all that going on and trying to focus on your phone call. So that was my hiding spot, right? I had worn out a path behind the trees in my backyard. You say, well, why because my dog couldn't see me back there, so I could walk behind the trees. If you've been doing real estate any amount of time, you also know about the snap. The snap is, you get a phone call that you got to take in the car, and it's all of a sudden you're snapping right away because the kid's got to know, like, look, I'm on the phone. You got to do this. So I had done all of these things, and I think because I've done these things hundreds of times, I can hopefully help relate to what helps a realtor, and helps be the focus of every decision that I make and what we make here is about realtors. How can I help your life become easier? How can I help you become more successful, sell more homes, be more efficient, have a better life here at Samson Properties? So I think having that experience helps me see the world through that prism. So 16 to 19, I helped my dad build up all the foundation. 2019, I became our CEO, took over all the operations here at Samson. My dad slowly moved into retirement, and I've been running the company now for just over 4 years as the CEO. I think today we are that company. I think we've gotten to the point that we give out everything and more than anybody else does, and we let you keep all of your money. So it's a great circle that we've set up. That's kind of the background. It's kind of where we are today and the circle of our business plan. What I'd like to talk about next is our culture. So this is painted on the walls of every one of our offices. It's on at least one wall in every office. Kind of our core values. Our first 2 things were my dad's core rules: be nice and be professional. I know those are simple, but they're also very important. We're all going to mess up every day, but if we mess up the right way, if we've got if we're nice to people, we treat people the right way, we're pros, then we can all work through it together. People are bad eggs, and they're not nice, and they're not professional. They don't treat our staff the right way. They don't treat other realtors or their clients the right way. they can't be in our family anymore. So that's what's really important to us is be nice, be professional. The next one is pay it forward. It's a weird one, right? Well, 20 years ago, there was a popular movie, Pay It Forward. And my dad loved that idea of pay it forward. But really, that's our business plan, right? It's, I'm going to give to you. Don't give me your money back. Pay it forward. Take care of, try to help you use Cardinal Title Group. If you do and they take great care of you, great. I'm going to take those profits and I'm going to pay it forward and pour that back into you all to help make your life easier at Samson Properties. So it's this pay it forward mindset is our business plan, but then there's also the way that our realtors treat each other. On this stage, we've got our top realtors will come in multiple times a week, all over our footprint, and they're going to teach stuff for free. They're going to give back for free. I don't pay them any money. We look at it at Samson, all of our agents and our family together. We look at it as like, it's not me versus you. It's us together. How can we help each other pull on that rope the same way? If I've got something that can help you, then I'm going to teach you about it. So we love this culture we've set up of a pay it forward mindset. Having great integrity is obviously, part of that be nice, be professional atmosphere. Education, I'm going to talk more about our passion for education. Giving back to the community. We have a Samson Cares, which is our philanthropic effort of Samson Properties. Just this summer, we packed over 50,000 meals for families in need. So we do a lot of things to give back to the community that's done so much to us. Be innovative. This is a weird one. For a real estate company, you're innovative. I'm going to tread lightly here, but there's I think you can get a mindset if you work for a national brand or a company that has a name that's been around for a long time that we are content or we're set. We are this company and we do things this way and you're kind of lucky to work for us as a realtor. Well, maybe it's that little engine that could attitude that we've been fighting up that hill for years is that we've never set. We're never content. We're never settled. Every month I'm looking for new ways. Every week we're always looking for new things to add, to be innovative, create a better company for our realtors. So that's what I mean by being innovative is that we're always pushing that envelope. We're pushing every day to make a better company for our realtors. So that's a core value of ours is to be innovative. So I'm not naive. That's our culture wall, but I think that I'm going to try to be as interesting as I can be to give all this information out to you over the next hour or so. But I know the money's most important, or not most important, but an important aspect of it, right? So we are a 100% commission company. I want to make sure everybody understands the fees before we get too far into it. We are 100% to all of our realtors. We have a monthly fee that everybody pays. $50 a month is our membership fee at Samson Properties. Everybody pays the $50 a month. That also includes your E&O insurance. It includes everything we're going to talk about today. If you join us and never sell a home, that's all you'll ever pay. So it's $50 a month or $600 a year. There's no annual fee. There's no added tech fee. There's no, hidden service fee that we're not telling you about. That's it. And it covers everything, including your E&O insurance. Some of you are out there already paying $500 or $600 a year in E&O insurance as a standalone product. Now, the idea of joining a real estate company is also to sell homes. So if you sell homes, you have a couple more fees. The next one is your $345 brokerage fee or admin fee. So every time you close a home, you have to give $345 back to the company as a brokerage or an admin fee. Now it says client paid next to it because about 95% of our agents have their clients pay that on the Alta as a $345 fee. You don't have to, but I do give you why we charge an admin fee, so it's easy to blame the brokerage and charge that back to your client. You can always pay for it for yourself if you want. But most people will join us, have their client pay that $345. And a large percentage of our realtors, that's all they have. $345 paid by the client, $50 a month, that's all their fees. Some of you out there will also have a last additional fee. It's a $495 transaction fee. This is the only part that comes out of your commission every time until you make it into the Cardinal Club. So $495 comes out of your commission each time until you make it into the Cardinal Club. Once you make it into the Cardinal Club, that $495 is waived now and forever. Once you're in the Cardinal Club, you're in forever. You never have to pay that fee again. I don't even have a way to recheck it. So once you get in, we don't recheck it every 6 months or year. There's no anniversary dates, nothing like that. You're in forever, and you never pay that $495 again. Well, the Cardinal Club sounds great. How do I get into the Cardinal Club? So the Cardinal Club, if you're sitting here today watching this video or in person here, if in the last 12 months you have sold $3 million in homes or had 8 sales transactions, you would start from day one in the Cardinal Club. You would never pay a $4.95 fee your entire career. You're in the CC forever and ever, amen. So your past sales at your previous company count. So if you've done 8 sales or $3 million, you're in from day one. Now, if you're close, you've done $2 million or 4 transactions in the last 12 months, great. Join us. You sell a couple more homes, and it's a rolling 12-month period. So you sell a couple more homes, and it's November 15th, and you shoot us an email. You say, look, check my stats. From November 15 to November 15, I think I'm in. Great. We check it. You're in. Awesome. You never pay $4.95 again. You're in the Cardinal Club for the rest of your career here with Samson Properties. So it's that most, it doesn't reset at the beginning of the year or nothing like that. It's always the most recent 12 months from whenever that period is. If you're here today and you're brand new, great. Congratulations on passing the test. I have great news for you. You never have to learn or talk about meets and bounds the rest of your career. That is just for the test. It has nothing to do with real estate. So it does, I know, but not really. All right, so if you're brand new, great. We're going to train you up, awesome, help you become a rock star. You'll be in the Cardinal Club in no time. Until then, you have the $4.95 fee on every transaction as well until you get into the Cardinal Club. Now, the other big way that people get into the Cardinal Club is teams. So if John Smith works for ABC Realty, and he's going to join Samson. John sold $10 million in homes last year. Well, John obviously would be in the Cardinal Club, right? But let's say John has 4 teammates, and they sold 3 homes, 4 homes, 6 homes, 2 homes last year. Well, individually, they wouldn't be in the Cardinal Club because they wouldn't qualify, right? Well, because John's Cardinal Club, all 4 of them get to be in that Cardinal Club right away as well. So it's a huge deal, but all of a sudden now they don't have to be like, well, let's put it in John's name so we don't have the fee. And a lot of people have that in their teams now where they have to put it in certain people's name to get a better split. Look, you're all pulling on this rope the same way. I want you guys to, as a team, I don't care who gets the credit. You all just have one $345 fee to pay no matter what. It also helps John to recruit people inside of our brokerage or outside of our brokerage to help grow that team. A lot of teammates will work at 50-50, 60-40, 70-30 splits within the team. But if they've got to pay 20% to the company on top of that, then it becomes tough to stay in that team. Well, my 60-40 all of a sudden is 40-60 now. There's not enough money to, keep staying on that team, right? I don't want to make 30-40% of my money. So if the whole team gets the whole pie to split up, just a $345 fee, it's an easier way to keep in that team. There's people that grow within it. So one thing, too, before I jump off the money. Let's take John real quick. So John last year, he paid his company, let's say $25,000. Or $30,000 because he's got a good split, he capped, whatever the case may be. He paid his company $30,000. Let's say his 4 teammates paid $10,000 each. They didn't have as good a split, but they didn't sell as many deals, transactions, so they had $10,000 each. Well, John's team now paid $30,000 plus the 4 10s, that's $70,000 that John's team paid that company. And I hear worse every day I talk to people. Let's say they joined Samson, they paid nothing, right? $345 admin fees they're charging the client. That's $70,000, $6,000 a month now that John and his team can put back into whatever they want, into their college funds or whatever they want. Or really, the teams that take off with us are the ones that pour that back into their business. That's $6,000 a month they can put back into leads, to client parties, to admin help, whatever it is that's going to help that team grow. All right, Donny, not everybody's like John, right? Let's take Sue Smith. Sue Smith's a great realtor, does a good job. Everyday success. Let's say she made $100,000 in gross commissions last year. Great, successful realtor. She kept $80,000. She paid her company $20,000. Okay, great. She's happy with the company, but she still paid them $20,000. That's like $1,600 a month that she's paying into her brokerage. $1,600 a month. Where she joins us, it's just $345 a transaction that she's probably charging the client. What if you put $1,600 a month back into your business every month? Let's say the average commission is $10,000 for argument's sake. If I think if you put $1,600 a month back into advertising, to postcards, to client parties, to client gifts, to whatever it is that you want to do to work your database or create new leads through print or online media, you can help create one new transaction, let's just say every 2 months, every $3,200 you spend. That's not too much to ask, right? If I create one new transaction every 2 months, that's 6 transactions a year, It's not 10, it's 6 transactions a year. 6 transactions a year times $10,000. It's $60,000 in income. Sue only made $80,000 last year. Just stop giving the money to your brokerage, put it back into your own business, and you're going to flourish. Now, it's not just the 6, right? If you've been doing real estate any amount of time, you realize that it's not just the one transaction. It's about creating branches on your tree. I used to think of my business as a big tree. I know I'm going to turn into a big blue tree here for a second. Is that every new transaction that I created was a strong branch in that tree. If I watered it and I took care of it, what would happen? Branches would come off of that. You'd meet somebody at the open house. They would tell their neighbor that I'm a great realtor. They would tell their cousin. Their sister would call me. So you created 6 branches with investing the money back in your business. You could wake up 2 years from now and those 6 turned into 10, 15, 20 transactions if you took good care of those 6 and did a good job. So it's about creating more opportunities that help your business splinter out and grow in a positive way. So that's where it's not just the money you save coming to Samson, it's how you can help that money make more money for you. All right. Any questions on the 345, the 495, Cardinal Club, anything like that before I move on? Clear as mud today. Crushed it. All right. So we have a couple company policies. I got him with that one. Got the clear as mud joke. All right. A couple company policies. Now, I believe we have 5,500 independent contractors. I want to let everybody run their business the way that they want to run their business. We just have a couple guardrails, a couple bumpers in the bowling alley to make sure that we don't get off the tracks when it comes to advertising. So with buyers, we let you give whatever cash back you want to your buyers. If you got your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, and you want to give them 1.5% or 2% cash back, good. You do you. That's fine. Now, what I restrict is you can't advertise that. I don't want 10,000 flyers around town saying, I'll give you 2% cash back. It's a bad look. It makes everybody in the company feel a little bit icky that that flyer is going around town with their company name on it. So that's the only thing I restrict is what you advertise. But you can do whatever deal you want person to person. On listings, similar thing. You can list for whatever percentage you want. You want to take it at 4, 5, 6, 9%? Great. You do. If you're getting 9% listings, you need to come on in here. You need to teach a class to all of our realtors because that's fantastic. I want to learn how to get 9% listings. But you can do whatever deal you want. The only thing I restrict is what you advertise, okay? I don't want 10,000 flyers around town from Chris saying, I'll list your home for $5,000 or 1%. It makes all of us look bad and feel a little bit icky, right? The reason I give this flexibility is this. Meredith and I, my wife and I's first listing, we're 23 years old. She was on our church message boards, and back then we gave out 3% to buyer's agent, and we said, Meredith said, I'll list your, it was a FSBO, and Meredith said, I'll list your home for 4%. Give me 1 and I'll pay out 3. And the guy said, no, only if you do it for 3.5%. And Meredith looked at me and she said, Donnie, what should I do? I said, we got nothing else to do. We might as well take the listing, right? So we took the listing. It was in South Riding. Sold in one day for $400,000 because we weren't great. Everything sold in one day back then for full price, right? So we made a $2,000 commission, 0.5%. Cool. Well, it turns out this guy was a lender. And Eric liked Meredith and I. Probably Meredith more than me, if we're being honest. But in the next year, this guy Eric gave us 7 buyers. 7 buyers because he knew Meredith and I were hungry and we worked hard for him. We made $65,000 in the first year of our career off the relationship with Eric. Now, if I worked for a company that said, you can't take that listing, you can't negotiate yourself and bid your own business, I never would have been able to meet those people. So that's why we give you total flexibility when it comes to what you do. We just restrict what you advertise because that's what everybody in the public sees about Samson Properties. A couple other things there. On referrals, we give 100% splits on in-office referrals. Outside, 90-10 split on everything with a max of $345. So you never pay us more than $345 on any transaction when you're referring it out to other states or other companies or whatever that is. With rentals, no $345 admin fee. We just have, on the tenant side, you pay us nothing. You get to keep all $500 of your hard-earned money, right? Tenant rep is not a fun business sometimes. Sometimes it costs you more in the time and gas than you get paid back on the tenant rep deal. But I still would encourage you to work with rentals. They are sometimes your most loyal clients because you helped them when nobody else would sometimes. But we don't take $1 out of your tenant rep's fee. For rental listings, we take a smaller admin fee. No $345, but we'd have to process paperwork and give out stuff. So it's 7.5% of 1 month's rent. So $75 per $1,000. So if it's a $2,000 rental It's a $150 admin fee. You can charge that to your owner, or you can pay it yourself, your call on that. But it's a smaller admin fee on rental listings on there. On commercial splits, we don't get as much title work, so we are a 90-10 split on commercial business rentals or sales on commercial stuff. Any questions on any of the advertising rules or kind of some of the exterior splits, anything like that before I jump to the next section? There you go, rocking and rolling. All right, more fun stuff here. Office locations. Currently, we have 34 Samson office locations and growing. I believe in office space. I believe in the one another's. This is where most people look at me and say I'm a little bit crazy. When COVID started, we had 18 office locations, and now we are growing. We have a couple more in the works that by the time you're watching this video or talk to me the next time, we probably have a couple more. But why do we continue to pour into offices? A couple reasons. One, I think there are some Donny Samsons of the world. What does that mean? I told you, I have a great wife and 4 beautiful daughters and a dog, but I have been somebody that from day one, I got to go to the office. I cannot work. We all work from home at some level, right? But I want it to be, I'm at the office every day at 9 o'clock. I can get my mind in work mode, and I can focus on those things. A lot of people are like that. Let's say 15, 20% of our realtors want to be in the office every day. Most of the other 80% kind of fall into this category, though. They need a place to connect, whether it's once a week, whether it's 2 or 3 times a month. They want to come to this class. They want to come to this happy hour, this bagel breakfast, or, hey, there's this cool class down in this office. Let me go. If you sit in your same 10 by 10 at home and you have a bad month or two, what's probably going to happen month 3, month 4, month 5? Probably the same dang thing, right? We didn't put any fresh energy, fresh ideas, nothing new. We're just waking up and we're doing the same thing. So I want to have these offices that people can connect at, can come, they can go to the classes at. If you join one Samson office, you join them all. They're all owned by us. They're one happy family. We have a page later I'll show you that you can get 24/7 access to all of our offices wherever you are, whenever you want to. So it's a great way to be able to connect for our agents to connect in all these different locations. The second reason is a place to meet your clients. Look, I've written contracts at Starbucks, McDonald's, on the hood of a car, and everywhere in between. But wouldn't it be better if no matter where you were, you had an office within 10, 15, 20 minutes of where you're at? Now, no matter where you're at, you can be like, hey, I got an office down the street in Fairfax. Let's go there. I'm in Vienna. I'm in Tysons. I'm in Bethesda. Let me go down to our local office. Let's sit in a beautiful conference room and go over the biggest financial decision in your life instead of sitting at McDonald's with some 4-year-old whining about one more French fries and we can't focus, right? So that's why I continue to build these offices, so that you have a place to meet your clients in one of these beautiful conference rooms or beautiful offices to go. You can use them all. You can print for free, use the conference rooms for free, drop-in desks at every office that you can use as your own. The third reason that I build these offices is a little bit selfish. All right, the last reason, it's a help me, help you situation. How do we make all of our money? The title company, right? I'm pretty open about that. Cardinal Title Group is where we make the money. Well, if I told you, please use Cardinal Title Group, but you have to close. We only can close in Chantilly and Gaithersburg. Those are our 2 Cardinal offices. Well, you'd be like, you're out there running around Stafford or Alexandria, and you're like, I got to ratify a contract, and I put Cardinal Title Group on it, and the buyer looks at me, and the listing agent looks at me like this. Where's Cardinal? What's in Chantilly? Like, come on, Donny. We're not driving an hour to closing. It's not reasonable, right? That was me 10 years ago when I was out there hustling and closing deals all over, and my dad was like, you better use Cardinal, and then I have to come all the way back to Chantilly. It doesn't work, right? You can close in all 34 of our office locations. We have staff, full-time staff for Cardinal that sits every day in like 20 or 22 of these locations. So you're like, well, now it's easy. The synergy's great. Of course I'm going to come in there. Rachel's my processor. She sits in the same office every day. She's going to process all my files. And then if we close in Fairfax this day or Vienna this day or Gaithersburg this day, we're going to close with the local attorneys and settlement agents there that are going to take great care of me. But I get that great processor every time. I can close whatever's convenient for the people in the transaction, whether it's the buyers, the sellers, whatever the case may be. We have all these options available to you. So that's another reason that we continue to grow offices. You can use them all for free. Drop-in desk, conference rooms, all that kind of stuff, printing. If you want to rent a private office, they are available in most all of our offices. They typically run $100 to $500 a month. Depends on where they are. It's a supply and demand world right now. It also is supply and demand world and how much it costs us. My DC office might cost a little bit more than my Charlestown, West Virginia office. It's just that's just rent rates, right? But those are always available to us. So reach out if you want to talk more about renting an office somewhere. All right, so offices, lots of fun stuff. These next couple minutes, I'm going to brag a little bit about Samson Properties, but it is kind of a job interview, so I have to brag about us a little bit. We've grown pretty big. We're doing a good job out there. We have 5,500 agents going strong, and we're adding about 100 agents a month, and a lot of it's because of the great work our agents are doing and the great word of mouth that's spreading all over about Samson Properties. Now, during this, we've achieved some things. 2023 here will be our third year in a row of having the most sales in all of Northern Virginia. We're at about 11% market share in Northern Virginia of all the homes sold, which is crazy and hard for me to think about. We're number one in a lot of different counties all over. Our first Maryland County, we were number one. It was Prince George's County. We've been number one 2 years in a row there. We just started in West Virginia less than a year ago. We're already number one in Jefferson and Berkeley County already. So awesome stuff. Our realtors have been working hard to make all that happen. Now, what does that growth look like in some numbers? So last year, in 2022, we sold 17,100 homes, 17,000 transactions for $8.7 billion in homes. That's kind of a lot of sales. So we're super proud of that. Now, that was good enough for 20th in the country, you can see there, in sales volume in the RIS Media guide for the whole country in their rankings. We were 20th in the nation in sales volume. On the right there, you see we were 23rd in the nation in sales transactions by Real Trends and RIS Media. And then in the middle, a really cool one is we are the 7th largest independent brokerage in the whole country. Now, we really only work in the DMV. Most of the independents that are above us are nationwide independent brokerages. We're the 7th largest independent brokerage in the country, and 99% of those sales are within an hour of the DC area. Everything's in the metropolitan DC area. So pretty awesome. I'm proud of all that stuff. And I want to kind of show this graph here that shows our Northern Virginia market share. Now, wherever you're watching this, it might be a different market for you, but this is not to brag or talk about the other companies on this chart, okay? It's really about showing us. We're that big blue line on the chart. You can see where our market share was in 2015. It's about 3.5% of sales, and how it shot straight up in the last 6 to 7 years. And now we're number one by a lot, and we're at about 11%, whereas the second place person is about 6% market share. And you can see everybody else has stayed pretty flat. Some lines went down, but you can see that we are definitely the emerging force. So I love that visual representation of where our market share has gone in Northern Virginia in the last few years. The next slide we'll talk about here. So that just kind of shows our market share and how we're growing all over, and we've done a few sales. Next thing I talk about is recruiting rewards. All this growth has been awesome, and really until mid-2023, we didn't really even incentivize our realtors to recruit for us at all. But what I looked at it as I said, look, they're all recruiting for us and spreading the good word. I'd love to incentivize our realtors and give them a few dollars to be thankful for it. So now we have recruiting rewards. You can get $500, $2,500, $5,000, or $10,000 in recruiting rewards if you bring somebody to Samson Properties. Bring them to a lunch and learn, introduce them to me, introduce them to our staff, and then we take it from there. The reason I bring this up in a recruiting presentation like this is this. Hopefully you like what you hear today and you join Samson Properties. And then a lot of people think about is, oh, I really like it. You know what? I think I got 3 or 4 people in my company that would probably like Samson as well. Well, a lot of people join us and they earn 5, 10, 15, 20 grand almost right away because they call 3 or 4 of their realtors from their current company and say, you got to come here, Donny. You got to come learn about Samson. And they join right away and they're reaping those recruiting rewards right away. So I love this idea of join us, go back, get some other people from your company. I'll incentivize you. Now, I know there are some companies that they incentivize in recruiting downlines on some kind of level, right? And they'll say, okay, fine, you bring Johnny in and I'll give you 1% of what Johnny gets forever. The problem with that for me is this. Now, I recruited Johnny to my company and I took 1% of Johnny's money for the rest of all time. I don't love that because now Johnny, my buddy I brought in, he can't make 100% because I got to pay 5 people 1% each, right? I would rather bring Johnny in, let him get 100%, and let Donny and let Samson Properties give you a recruiting reward for bringing Johnny in. It doesn't have to come out of Johnny's pocket, so Johnny's not hurt by it. So that's the part I love is I want to let every single person get the 100%, whereas if I start introducing 1% downlines, then nobody can get the 100% anymore because you're getting the 1%. So I love, let everybody get the 100%. I'll give you big cash up front to help you recruit people in. And I'll take the loss for a little bit because we're going to build the long-term goal of everybody growing together. So that's our recruiting rewards, and I love how it's really incentivized our realtors even more to reach out and bring their friends and bring their colleagues into Samson Properties. All right, now I've talked a lot about our baseline, a lot of our stuff, kind of how we're set up. We'll talk about all these tools that we give you to help you succeed. So the first thing is tech. We love, now I don't believe in creating our own tech. I believe in finding the best tech in the country, doing all my research, and then paying for that for all of you all so that you can use it, right? Because they're going to work every day to build this tech up and make it better. So I'm going to go find the best stuff. I'm going to partner with it, pay for it, and help you all to have it. So KV Core is that first one. We were on them first, and a lot of our people are on them. I've been with them for 3.5 years now. And we provide the full KV Core stack for free to all of our realtors. Mid-2023, we added Chime for all of our realtors as well. It's a similar tech stack to KV Core. A lot of them do the same things, but I'll kind of talk about generally what a tech stack does. Once you join, you can dive into each product and kind of figure out exactly how you want to make it work for you. But in general, KV Core and Chime are great products that realtors out there are paying $500, $1,000, $1,500 a month for right now. But we pay for it for free for all of you. It's got their own websites. You got your own login. You got your own website. You can fancy it up at DonnySamson.com. Don't use that. That's my name. Put your own name up there, and that's your website, right? And people say, well, I don't need a website. You kind of do, though. If Chris tells Zach, hey, Zach, you should call Donny. Donny's the best realtor around, and he'll take great care of you. What's Zach going to do before he calls me? He's going to look me up. He's going to Google me. He should, right? I Google people before I have them come fix my garbage disposal, make sure they do a good job. Zach's going to give me $20,000 to sell his home. He better look me up. If Zach looks me up and I don't even appear on the internet, I wouldn't hire me. It's like your digital business card nowadays. How can you hire me to market his home if I can't market myself, right? So to me, I think you have to have that digital business card. It's never going to be Redfin or Zillow or anything like that, but you got to have that digital presence showing that you're a pro out there. Now, if I think everybody should have a website, then I want to make sure I provide one for you for free that you can log in, dress up, give yourself a professional representation of yourself. All the tech stacks have smart CRMs. They have AI in there where it's crazy nowadays. They click on a thing and it's learning. Okay, Zach clicked here. Here's all the information about Zach, and here's his wife, and here's his kids, and here's where he wants to live, and I know, it knows all these things, right? But then it takes that information and it starts nurturing back to Zach right away to help them turn into a random person that hit your website into a future client, customer, or friend. Some of these AIs are great, right? They start talking to you. They'll start having conversations. I've talked to some of my realtors. They're great. They're like, I saw the person hit my website, but the chatbot was talking to him. I was like, they're doing a better job than I would. I'm just going to let the chatbot go for a little bit. And then they jumped into the conversation eventually. But these smart CRMs and these AIs and these chats on all these websites do a great job of nurturing and building your client database. It's got listing activity reports for all your listings. It's got a market snapshots built in. Now, what's a market snapshot? A market snapshot is a report that you can send weekly, or I suggest monthly, to everybody in your database. If you get one tip from me today, it would be this. Everybody, when you're done today in the presentation, you want to challenge yourself. Everybody that's worked with you before, that will work with you in the future, and everybody in your sphere of influence, the friends in your church group, the parents of your kids' basketball team or lacrosse team, everybody you know their name and their email address, they should be getting a market snapshot from you. You can find their address in Bright. When I got out of selling every day, I had 450 people getting market snapshot every month. Why did I have that? Because look, we send the cheesecake of the month emails and the winterize your hose bibs. But what's the reality? Nobody cares about any of that stuff, right? They don't care about. What does every single person care about? The value of their home. They all do, right? I have 4 daughters. My youngest is 10 years old in 5th grade. I don't plan on going anywhere until she graduates high school in 7 years. Unless I get home tonight and Meredith says we're moving, and then we're probably moving, right? But if I come home tonight and I pull into my circle and I see a for sale sign on the street, or any of us do on the way home tonight, what's the first thing we're doing? We're going to Google that bad boy as soon as we get to our driveway. We're looking them up. How does that house compare to ours? What are they asking? Is it better? Is it worse? We all care. Well, if every single person cares about their market value, then I want to be the person that brings that information to everybody I know so that they start to look at me as the go-to source for all the great stuff, right? So market snapshots are built in for free to all these products. The next thing it does is it gives you two different kinds of apps you can use. One is your mobile coach. Your mobile coach is, so I open up my app every day, it tells me who to talk to, what to do. So it might say, hey, call Chris. She's hit your market snapshot 6 times this weekend. Now, when you call Chris, don't say, hey, Chris, I see you've hit my market snapshot 6 times this weekend. She's going to think that's creepy and weird, and she's going to hang up the phone on you. Just call and check in with Chris. She's going to tell you, hey, Donny, did you know it's doing this in our neighborhood right now? Right? She's going to tell you because you've been looking at the stuff. It might say, hey, Justin's been looking for homes all over Reston. Just check in with Justin. Hey, Justin, how's it going? How's Lori? How are the girls? Right? They're going to follow up with you, and they're going to tell you why they've been looking around for homes. You're just checking in. I like to think of your CRM and your mobile coach as like a duck floating across the water. It's really weird. Let me go with me on this for a second, though. All right? Ducks look so pretty and peaceful going across the water, right? Like, oh, that duck's great. Looks like they're barely even trying. But what's going on underneath the water? Their legs are going a million miles a minute, right? That's the CRM. That's what everything's doing underneath the surface, your tech stack. And it just pops up to the surface the couple things that you should do that day to best use your time and who to connect with to best connect with within your database. So that's why I love the CRM and that mobile coach. The other thing it gives you is your own open house app. Most of you are probably like me. You do an open house and you're really excited if you work hard and you got 20 people to sign in. Everybody needs the sign-in sheets, right? You take your sign-in sheets home and you go home and you're tired that night, and then next Monday you come in, you're like, I'm going to call everybody in the sign-in sheet. I'm on it. Then you call all 20 people. Nobody answers the phone, right? It's fine. No, then you email all 20 people or however many you got the email address for, right? And nobody responds because unless they want to do something right then, they don't really care, right? Then you're like, oh, I'm going to try again on Wednesday or Thursday, and you try again. If you're really on it, you try twice. No, I didn't try twice all the time. But if you did, right? And if they don't answer, they probably slide further down your desk, and then they end up in your trash can by the end of the week or next week. Whenever you finally, I'll clean up my desk. People are this from open house 2 weeks ago, they're out of here. The reality is then these 20 people are never going to call you again, probably. Here's the thing. Probably 10 of the people at that open house were going to do something in the next 18 months. The problem is I'm not there to be their realtor when they are, whether it's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 15 months from now. So how do we get there? Well, if we use our open house app, as soon as all people come in the door, we sign them up, they get a text after the open house. Thanks for coming to see me. The next morning, they get set up on a market report, on a monthly snapshot, on a buyer report, on a seller report. Now they're getting my stuff. Now they're in my engine. They're in my web of I don't know what, the web of emails, right? They're getting I was going to say a lot of things there. The web of emails that they're going to get from me. We've had so many agents come back and be like, look, I met this person at open house 4 months ago. I forgot who they were. But they've been getting my emails. All of a sudden the app said, hey, call Susie. And you called Susie. Like, hey, Donny, I've been looking at your stuff. That's awesome, right? The system's working for you so that those 20 people you met at the open house still have a chance of being your client. You're not going to get all 10, but you got a lot better chance of getting some of those 10 if they're in your web and getting follow-ups in your CRM than if they're in your trash can like they used to be with that. So the open house app I love. That gives you for free. There's a couple other add-ons. There are a few companies that give you KV Core and Chime, but they stop at a certain point. Most of them charge a tech fee to give you something like that. But I had these add-ons that I think you had to have. The first one is KV Core Listing Machine. This helps you be a rock star when it comes to listings. They create a single property website for each one of the listings as soon as you put it in the MLS. Now, that's great. It also sends out the advertisement for this listing to all of your social media feeds once you set them up the first time. So great. I would go one step further. This is the Donny Samson advice. It will cost you a couple dollars, all right? So I've created this single property website for you. Now, my advice is go to GoDaddy.com and buy the URL for $12, 123center.com, or whatever that address is, 123 Center Street, 456 Main, whatever, right? So I bought 123center.com. Now, this single property website is going out to everywhere called 123center.com. First of all, who's going to think that's super cool? The seller. Seller's going to be like, oh, hold on, I get my own website? 123center.com? That's awesome, right? So you've impressed the seller tremendously. Now, who else thinks that's really cool? Everybody that saw that internet ad online, on Facebook and LinkedIn, and went, Donny gets, oh, that's awesome, man. 123, that's cool. His sellers get their own website. Then I would go to the rider store. That's the official definition for what the store is called. The rider store, wherever you order riders, 123center.com. I'd hang that on the sign. $8. Who's going to go there? Well, just every person that drives down the street. Earlier I talked about me driving home and seeing a for sale sign. What do you think I'm going to do if I see the rider out there? As soon as I hit my driveway, 123center.com. What's the download? What's all the information on that house? So now the seller loves me. Everybody online is going to my website. And everybody in the neighborhood and all the buyers are going to that same website when they saw the sign. All these are not only creating buzz for the house, but they're also leads pulling into my database that now we can follow up on and hopefully turn into my next sellers or my next buyers because of Core Listing Machine. So I love that. Next one is KV Core Social. This gives you fresh, dynamic, free social media content that will automatically feed your social media feeds. You can decide what you want to talk about, what areas you want to talk about. You set it up however you want, set it and forget it. It creates great social media content for you. KV Core Social. The next one is called KV Core Present. I love KV Core Present. Just added this in the summer of 2023 here. And what this does is it kind of fills on this whole market snapshot idea. Is it creates stunning CMA presentations for people that you can email or print out and use it listing presentations. It's a award-winning product. It's really cool to look at. Now, what I would do if it were me, my advice is, all right, I got 200 people in my database. I'm going to do 3 people a day or 5 people a day. Set a small goal. First day, it's going to take you 30 minutes. I'll take you 10 minutes each. Every day, it's going to get easier because you're going to get better at it. It's going to take you 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. But you can send really cool, slick presentations to 3 people a day, 5 people a day. They're going to continue to remember now that you're the pro that's helping them, giving them those fresh market updates once a quarter or whatever is convenient for you. Now, let's say you're spending 5, 10, 20 minutes a day, but you're really connecting in a meaningful way with people in your database. That's awesome, valuable information. Or, you get some neighborhood email addresses. Send out neighborhood CMAs to all these different people. You're giving them something valuable that looks amazingly impressive. How much did you pay for it? 0. I paid for it for you. KV Core Present. Now, if all this KV Core stuff's a lot for you, know this. You can actually use KV Core Present just as a standalone product. You don't have to dive into all the other stuff if that's too much for you. I think it's all great, but this can be a standalone product or tied into your KV Core database. Now, if all this was a lot with KV Core and Chime, I would ask you to lock in here for 1 second. We give you, for every single listing you put in the MLS, a free Facebook ad for everyone. So this is also another great tech add-on. We give you a free Facebook ad for every single listing that you put in the MLS. Who else? Who's going to think that's awesome? Your seller. Oh, you're running a Facebook ad for me? Nobody else said they were going to do that, right? So you're running a free Facebook ad. Now, when the leads hit those Facebook ads, do they come back to Donny and Samson Properties? No. They're going right into your inbox so that you can follow up on those prospective leads and turn them into new people. So I'm creating tons of leads for you. Core Listing Machine, Core Social, Core Present's a separate thing you can use. And then the Facebook ads are creating more leads for you for every single time that you get a listing out there. So lots of great stuff with tech that we offer you through KV Core and Chime. Next big tech product we offer, I love. Somebody asked me the other day, what's the one thing you would do out of all the stuff you offer at Samson Properties that you would definitely do tomorrow? And my answer was Real Scout. I love Real Scout. It's for free for all of our realtors. We pay for Real Scout for you. Now, you don't have to answer this, but if you're out there watching right now or you're in the room, if you met a new buyer today and they wanted to buy homes in Vienna from $500,000 to $600,000, I don't think those exist. Well, let's imagine that they exist, right? You would go home and you put a search, most all of you would put a search in Bright and you say, here's all the homes in Vienna, $500,000 to $600,000. There's 2 problems with this. One, now the guy I met, he can't change his search. He can't increase it to $700,000. He can't add Oakton to the search. He can't realize there's nothing for him in Vienna. He's got to start moving further west for $500,000 to $600,000. He can't do all those things. So is he going to ask permission? Probably not, right? What's he going to do? He's going to go search in different websites and portals to go find the information that he wants. So the one problem is they can't change their search. The second thing is Bright searches are ugly as sin. They are ugly, and nobody wants to look at them, so they get the information from you, right? And then what do? They're like, oh, okay, cool. So Donnie says these homes exist. Well, I'm going to go look in Zillow or Homes.com or Realtor.com for this stuff. And then what we get from our clients is a bunch of text messages, right, with either screenshots or links from all the houses on Zillow that they found. They're like, can you show me this house in Zillow? Can you show me this house in Zillow? There's nothing I talk about in my presentation that gets more head nods and smiles than the fact that everybody gets links from Zillow from their clients, right? So here's the problem with people on Zillow. What's on Zillow? Other agents, right? Every house they click on, there's 4 agents out there that are paying money to get that client, to get my buyer's information, start calling that buyer and try to convince them that they're a better realtor than me. Look, there's a lot of realtors in the world smarter, funnier, and prettier than me that they might start liking. I don't want them to meet other realtors, right? So what I want is, so what's the answer? The answer is Real Scout. A lot of what the problem is. What's the answer? The answer is Real Scout. So now I go home and I send this buyer a search in Vienna that says $500,000 to $600,000 homes in Vienna. Awesome. It's a really sexy search engine. It's all picture driven. It's AI driven. People don't want to leave Real Scout. Now they can say, oh, well, let me add Oakton. Cool. Or I'm going to add Madison High School or Oakton High. I can add by school, by zone. I can draw pictures in the map. I can change the price points. They can do their own thing, and they never want to leave because it's prettier. It's won awards for its style and what it looks like. So now they don't have to go to Realtor.com or Zillow or Homes. They stay right there, and they only get my information. It's an app or it's a desktop version. So I want to keep them in my universe. The thing I want people to consider is this. If you put 25 buyers this year in Bright, and you set up searches for them, and you're hopeful that you're going to be their buyer agent. And then you wake up a year from now, and let's say 7 of them bought homes with you. What we like to tell ourselves is, oh, well, the other 18 just didn't buy homes. What's the reality, though? They just didn't buy homes with you, you know? Some of them probably bought homes, but they found another realtor at some point along the way, right? So I'm not trying to make everybody sad, but what I'd like to do with Real Scout and giving it to you all is this. Okay, you put 25 home buyers next year. Instead of 7, let's help you get 10, 11, 14 of those. Probably, let's say 15 of them actually bought homes. I want to get you as many of them to stay in your court as possible and not go lose them to other websites and other agents out there. So that's the whole goal of Real Scout. It's got some other really cool features in there, but at its core, it's a better way to send searches to buyers and keep them working with you. So that's what I love about Real Scout. So that's a lot of the great tech stuff that we offer you. Now I'm going to talk about our print center. So in our headquarters in Chantilly, we have a full-scale print center. It is probably 25 by 30. It's a huge, huge room, 3 huge machines and cutters and mailers and all sorts of stuff, and 3 great full-time employees that come in all day and make it work. And then we've got somebody that comes in nights and weekends and continues to pump stuff out. Why do we do it in-house in our headquarters? Because we can do it cheaper, faster, easier, and we can give you a lot of free stuff because we produce it ourselves. So first of all, any color printing, normal everyday printing in all of our offices is free. I don't need your 5 cents a copy or 10 cents a copy. Print what you need to. Now, what do we do in our print center? We do a lot of things. The first thing we do is postcards. So we have 2 different levels of postcard. We have a standard postcard, which is really good quality cardstock. Color doesn't go quite all the way to the edge of the paper. And then we have premium postcards, a little bit thicker cardstock, a little bit more impressive, and the color bleeds all the way to the edge. Both good offerings. Now, free stuff. When you join Samson, you get 300 free postcards announcing that you've joined Samson Properties to your sphere of influence. You can modify this however you want. You can tell them, whatever message you want as to why you've joined Samson Properties. Now, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here. Most people that have worked with you before, that will work with you in the future, that will refer you in the future, that will be your future clients. Most, if not all of them, they don't know and they actually don't care what company you work for. They care and they're calling you back because of the relationship they had with you and with you and with you. That's why they call back and they refer people, because they had a good experience with you. So why, Donny, am I telling you to announce you've joined Samson Properties? Because it's a touch point. So many of us don't do a great job of keeping up with our database. So there's a stat that National Association of Realtors updates every year. And last year it said 91% of people likes their realtor. They will use that realtor again next time they go to buy or sell a home. Great on us. 91% customer satisfaction. Pretty good stuff. Do you know what percentage of people use that same realtor next time? You guys get guesses? 40%. Wow, that would be good. 13%. 13% of people use that same realtor again next time. Crazy, right? Why? Because they don't remember who you are. They don't remember us unless we stay a part of their lives. We send them market snapshots. We do all these things that we're talking about. We get people every day that join us, and they send out these 300 postcards, and they get new business right away. Why? Because it's a touch point. The 300 people in your database probably haven't heard from you in months or years, if we're being honest, or very little. So it's just another way to connect with them. And they're like, oh yeah, I like Donny. My cousin's thinking about selling. I should call my cousin and tell him to call Donny. We get that stuff every day. Now, on an ongoing basis, we've got two things. One, every time you put a listing on the market, we give you 200 free just listed postcards. Free 200 just listed postcards. We've got templates in there. Point and click, take out my picture, put in yours, save it, boom. Pull down your addresses, send those in, takes 5 minutes, boom, boom. We're out and going. We print them, we label them, we take them to the post office. You just sit back and wait for the phone to ring. We'll teach you how to do that process. If you don't want to learn, I'll talk about it later. We got people you can pay a couple dollars to do that for you as well. So 200 free open house postcards every single time, or 200, I just killed the narrative. 200 just listed postcards for free every time. And 200 open house postcards for free every single time that you do an open house. We give them to rent. We want you to send them to renters every time you do an open house. Why renters? They're the next buyers for that house, or buyers you can get in your car to help find a different home for. So 200 just listed, 200 for every open house for free every single time. Now, what you should do, what I did, okay, is do more. They have that ability. So let's say you want to do 500 just listed postcards. Great. We're here for it. Send in 500. Every additional postcard is 65 cents each for standard and 75 cents each for premium. That's all in. That's paper, labor, postage, everything included. So you send a 500-piece mailer. First 200 are free. Next 300 are 65 cents each. That's $195. Boom. Send it out. Wait for everybody to start calling. And people say, Don, it's $195. Okay. The average commission was $10,000, we said earlier, right? So that's 51 times I can send out 500 postcards. I need one person to call to make the $10,000. If you send 500 pieces out 51 times and don't get a call, you call me. I'll make you whole, okay? Because it ain't happening. You're going to get 3, 4, 5, 10 calls out of those 51 mailers that we paid for, that we helped you pay for. We've got people in our company that, we've got a great agent, Jason Cheperdak, who runs the Shepherd Homes Group. So he joined us 4 years ago. He was doing $6 million a year when he joined us. Now, Jason is smart and talented and hardworking and amazing at his job, okay? So I'm not taking credit for all the things that he's succeeded or he's accomplished. But 4 years later, his team did $251 million last year, and they're one of the top teams in the state of Virginia. Now, Jason has done a great job of building his team from one person to 24 people, and he's crushing it. But what Jason has also done is leverage the junk out of our print center. If he puts on 15 listings a week, that's, it's 3,000 postcards that are going out for every single week for him, just listed in open houses. And he's sending out 10, 15, 20,000 pieces a month, and he's getting tons more business off of it because he's leveraging the free stuff plus some stuff he pays for to continue to build more business. So that is just one example of how people are using our print center to really crush it. So postcards are a great option. The next one is we have a 4-page flyer that we do out. It's on premium paper, really sharp. We put out this template every month, and you can modify it however you want. You can email it out to your database. You can put it on your website. All that's free. Now, what I would do is if you want to print it in beautiful, good, premium paper like this and mail it out to people, it was 75 cents for a postcard, $1.50 in the mail for 4 pages, premium, great quality. That is nothing. It costs $3.50, $4 probably to produce this in reality. So why do we only charge $1.50? Because, guys, it's never about how much can I make off you. Everything we do is how can we help you make more money, become more successful, sell more homes, have a better business, have a better career. So $1.50 each to put this in the mail. Now, don't just take my template and send it out. All right, have a goal. I have 2 that I think are really good. One, I wish I could make every single realtor at Samson Properties do this, but I can't make anybody do anything. But listen up. I think everybody should pull a sphere of influence in your top 200 people in your life. Past clients, people that you've worked with, people closest to you, friends, family, whatever it is, 200 people that are closest to you. Pull their addresses, and that's your database. Now, if you're going to send a 4-page newsletter, every month to the 200 people that know you the best and your past clients. What should you make it? Should be more spin on what you think and what's going on. Make it about you, right? Front page, maybe it's some things you think are going on in the industry or some interesting articles you were able to find. On the second page, maybe it's local homes that you've sold or your local offices sold. Third page is maybe market reports for the general area, whatever counties you're working in or do the most business in. In the fourth page, I would make it personal. So 3 pages professional, 1 page personal. For me, it might be pictures of me and my girls at field hockey games or on vacation or traveling to travel lacrosse tournaments and out there. Why? Because people want to know that you're the great pro in their life, but they also want to remember you're the person that they liked and had a good relationship with, either personally now or professionally before. They want to remember to connect with you. You want to build a better career? Get closer to the 91% of people that liked you the first time and want to keep calling you and referring you than the 13% that forgot who you were. The way to do that is to remind them you're a pro and that you're a person that they liked and they want to call back. So you send this to 200 people every month. It's $1.50 each, that's $300 a month. $300 a month, that's done. It's a lot. It's $3,600 a year. We said the average commission was $10,000. So you need one new client, one new transaction every 3 years to pay for this. Guys, you're going to get 10, 15 more referrals every year from your 200-person database. The stats tell us that 1 out of every 7 people buy or sell a home every year themselves. So out of those 200 people, 28 of them are going to do something themselves this year. Are you going to get all 28? Probably not, unless you're doing something like this, right? But if you do, you're going to get many, many more people just from your database. And how many more referrals are they going to pick up your newsletter and be like, oh yeah, Donny's my guy. I'm going to tell Donny, I'm going to tell my friend or my coworker, whoever, to call Donny or my neighbor. You have to remind them that you're the pro in the business out there. So I love this. You will get 10, 15, 20 times your money back if you send this out. Now, the other big thing that people do is they use this to farm neighborhoods or farm areas. I live in Willisford. If I was going to send this out to 1,000 homes in Willisford, what should I do? Make it about Willisford. You'd be surprised how many real estate things I get to my house that have nothing to do with the neighborhood I'm in. And I'm looking at it going, why would anybody watch? Why would anybody? I'm the only person that reads it because I own a real estate company. So I read every real estate advertisement that comes across. But if you made it about Willisford, you made it about, here are the upcoming events. Here's pictures from all the cool stuff that happened last month. Here's the recent active, under contract, sold homes in our neighborhood. Well, now everybody's picking it up every month because they're like, this is great. It gives me a snapshot of the neighborhood, tells them what's going on in the neighborhood. This is information I care about. 3 pages about the neighborhood. Make the back page about, now this is the services you provide and why you're the go-to local realtor. So that's a different one. For farming, that's what I would do. So 1,000 homes, $1,500 a month. Every time to send this out to 1,000 homes, you need 1 new listing every 6 months. Or if a higher price neighborhood, you need 1 new listing every 8, 10, 12 months to pay for it. I think you're going to get one if you send out a good neighborhood newsletter. My Uncle Casey, his team does $150 million a year in Vienna. They're a great team. Casey sends $10,000 a month on sending flyers out to Vienna, 4-page flyers. Why does he do that? Because every time he sends it, he gets $4 or $5 million listing appointments. Well, if you told me I was going to make 60, 70, 80 grand every time I spent 10, do it every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't know about you guys. So I love the 4-page newsletter for your sphere, but also for farming if you're going to dedicate it to a certain area. The next thing when you come to real estate and printing is this. Brochures. Nobody loves brochures, right? But 4-page standard, regular paper, free. Print these in all the offices, no big deal. Now what you can do at our print center is, first thing is 4-page premium, really good quality, good thick paper. These are like $2 on other places. We charge just 75 cents each for these 4-page premium newsletters. So it says right in the front there, 4 pages, 75 cents each. Now, the one that I love is this, 8-page premium brochure. This one is super nice. This one, 8 pages of premium goodness. This is $1 each. This is super impressive to be able to print this for $1 and give it to people. Now, between you and I and the fence post, does a brochure ever sell a house? Probably not, right? Brochure doesn't sell the house. But who loves them some brochures? Sellers. Sellers love brochures, right? They're at a listing presentation, you put this in front of them, they're not even listening to what you say for the next 5 minutes. All they're doing is looking at how beautiful the brochure is and how they want this in their house. The other person that loves brochures and notices them, guys, is neighbors, people that come into the open house, people that are walking around, right? So neighbor comes into the open house, and sometimes I'll get some of our realtors, and they'll brag to me. It's like, Donny, sold this house on Thursday before the sign even got up. And so there's two things here. One, did you actually get full market value for not exposing? That's a separate whole issue. Let's put a pin in that one for 1 second, right? But the second one is you missed a chance to be great, right? You list the home on Thursday, and you got the sign up, and now the neighbor walks in the open house on Sunday, and that neighbor has seen 123center.com hanging on the sign, and they went to the website. They saw the Facebook ad you put for the house. They saw the just listed postcard. They saw the open house postcard. Then they went in, and they saw a beautiful 8-page brochure on the counter. You know what the neighbor's saying at this point? Dang, honey, I don't know when we sell, but we better interview Donny when we do, because he did all these things. And you've impressed him. You know what else? When you bring those 4 offers to the seller on Sunday night, you know what they're not thinking? Well, the market did it. You know what they're thinking? Donny marketed the junk out of this home, and he helped make this happen. And now I'm much more likely to call my cousin or my coworker or whoever and say, hey, Donny crushed it, right? Do all the things. That's how you build a good career. And we're paying for all the things for you, or a couple bucks. Look, to put 30 on the counter for $30, that is a no-brainer to me. It's a rounding error for what we make on our listings. So 8-page brochures we give you to help you become great. The last thing we give you, you have to join us to get these bad boys. All right, so we have a buyer guide, let's go find a house, seller guide, congratulations, you got a contract, now what? We've got buyer presentation, listing presentation. What these are is they are step-by-step guides that you can give to buyers, sellers, or use them for buyer presentation or listing presentation. You don't have those. You got to get those. You got to join to get those bad boys. People always love that. They start looking through their folders for them. But these are fully customizable. I wrote every word. If you don't like my words, you can take my words out, put your words in, put your pictures in, brand it to yourself. Fully brandable. Now, you create your buyer guide, you email it to everybody for free, you put it on your website, awesome. My advice is if you want to print them as well, these are 15 cents a page. 20-page book is $3. That is super cheap to have a beautiful book like this. Now, what would I use with a beautiful Donny Samson buyer guide? Well, let's say at your kid's game tonight, somebody says, hey, Donny, I'm looking to buy a home. Can you help me out? Great, I'll call you tomorrow. Cool. What if you said, hey, I'll call you tomorrow. Hold on real quick. Let me grab something for you before I leave. And you go to the car and you give them a Donny Samson buyer guide. You know what they did? 2 things. You managed their expectations. You've gone through every step of the process. You've told them the whole game plan before the game even kicked off. That is super valuable. The other thing you've done is, what a first impression. Instead of thinking, oh, I heard Donny's a realtor, I'll ask him. Now they're thinking, man, Donny's got his ducks in a row. He's like a pro's pro. You've created the expectation that you are a fantastic realtor that has all their ducks in a row before the game's even started. I just put like 3 metaphors together there. Was it great? But for $3 each, I have 20 of these all the time, ready to give out to prospective buyers at open houses, prospective sellers, whatever the case may be. So these guides we have available to you to email for free or print for 15 cents a page. So these are a lot of the great things we offer you through our print center. None of it's required, but it's just the ability to leverage and build your business with our print center on a super cheap way. We lose money in our print center, but it's about helping you make more money by offering all these things out at really below cost prices or free. All right, now we're going to pivot into how we treat you as realtors. How we care for our agents is our number one concern. It's one of the biggest reasons we've grown so well is because we take good care of our agents. We have a whole staff that's called the Agent Services Team in our brokerage, which is basically customer support for realtors. When we created this position, we created it with one trait in mind. We did not care what they knew about real estate. We didn't care what they knew about Samson. We cared about one trait, personality. We wanted them to be people that everybody wanted to talk to. You can all sit back right now and think about people in your lives that when they walk in the room, you're like, oh, geez, Heather just walked in. The room just got a little bit brighter, right? Or on the flip side, we've all got people that you walk in like, oh, geez, Mark's here. Let me see if I can slip out the back door before Mark sucks all the air out of this room, right? Look, you all just thought of 3 or 4 people in your life that suck all the air out of the room, right? But what I wanted these agent service people to be, people that filled up the room with their energy. So when you think about joining Samson, after all the great stuff we talk about here today, you think, okay, I think I'm going to do it. But change is hard, right? Making this commitment, it's easier to not do stuff than it is to do stuff. So what we want to do is we created this great person so that they grab your hand, and Bethany says, I got you, right? Grabs your hand, helps you cross that threshold. Says, I'm going to get you into all the things. I'm going to get you help song. You've got a person to call. They give you a great orientation, get you in all things Samson, and then what happens? A week later, you forgot everything they said. Because that's all right, they say a lot of things, right? Just like I said a lot of things during this presentation. But then they become your phone a friend, your lifeline. Everybody remembers that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis, right? And you had the phone a friend you could always call when you got stuck. That's your agent service specialist. So they are like your go-to person. You call them whenever you need help. Hey, I know you told me this before, but how do I deposit checks? Or how do I get into this system? Where do I have to go for this? They will have the answer for you 99 times out of 100. And the 100th time, they're going to connect you with the person that has that answer. So they're your go-to person. Then we pass you off to our team of trainers. We have a full staff of great people at Samson that are here to train you and help you succeed in real estate more. Now, we want to teach you how to do social media better, how to do SkySlope better, how to do all your marketing better, how to do everything under the sun. We do free headshots. We have personal video training here. We teach tons of great classes on how to build your business, how to market your business better. I made a joke earlier about meets and bounds, and I think it wasn't a good joke. It was a joke. But there's a place for CE. There's a place for education, and I think that's important. We have contract classes every week and all the time. What we want to focus on at Samson is how to build your business better, how to work with buyers better, how to work with sellers better, how to market better, how to nowadays how to do better buyer consultations and buyer presentations. We've got a fantastic series called Jumpstart that Lynn Hamilton teaches. That's all about jumpstarting your business if you're brand new, or you're kind of in a rut, taking the paddles and jumpstarting your business by going through it. 4 classes, 2 hours each. And every single person who takes Jumpstart comes out going, I am revitalized my business. Sometimes it's getting back to the basics, and maybe you never learned the basics, or you forgot what they were because you haven't done them in 5, 10, 15 years. But we want to continue to pour great knowledge into you all with Jumpstart and with all the other great classes that we teach. We video a ton of stuff, and we put it on Samson University afterwards. It's like your own Netflix. We have a great video team here. We do a lot of stuff in our beautiful studio in Chantilly. We video it, we package it up, we put it on Samson University for you to watch at your convenience. The other thing we do with our training is this. Something really cool. It's called HQ to You. So we have 34 offices all over our footprint. We do a lot of stuff in Chantilly. We do a lot of stuff in all of our offices all over the place. We do a lot of stuff virtually as well that you can join into. But what we started to do was we started to say, let's bring the training out to everybody. So we bring our whole headquarters staff, and we bring them out to different offices, and we do a whole day of great training, great one-another's with each other. We give you breakfast in the morning, start classes at 9:30. We give you lunch in the middle. I do a Q&A at lunchtime with everybody, talk about all things Samson, all things real estate. Then we do more classes in the afternoon, 9:30 to 3 o'clock. And we bring it all over our footprint. And then when our trainers aren't teaching, they're on the sides doing one-on-ones with realtors. They want that one-on-one care, one-on-one classes with people. It's fantastic. So this week we might be in White Marsh. Next week we might be in Stafford. The week after that we might be in Arlington or Alexandria or Fredericksburg. Every week we bring our staff out, typically on Wednesdays, and we take over an office and we teach all day, and it's a great time. So that's what we do with our HQDUs. And you can attend HQDU no matter where you are. You can, if you're in Stafford and you want to drive to Fredericksburg and Lake Ridge and Stafford and Alexandria and Chantilly, you can go to every HQDU you want. You just got to be able to drive there. So a lot of times I'll see people 2-3 weeks in a row at different HQDUs because it's just great education. We do 8 30-minute classes. We try to make them shorter, 30, 45 minutes, and we want to just dive into great topics like, okay, we'll do a class on Real Scout. We'll do a class on Core Present. We'll do a class on how to turn postcards into listings. Really great stuff that's relevant to your business. So we love our education. We love building people up. The other thing we've launched with our education department is called, we've really got a brand new initiative is our coaching. It's called Samson Plus. So what we love about Samson Plus is this. I'm a big believer in coaching. I coach a lot of my kids' sports. I used to coach high school football myself. But what I love about real estate coaching is this. It's about 2 things, in my opinion. Setting a game plan and accountability. Most realtors' careers go like this. Up and down. It's inconsistent, right? The number one trait in successful realtors is consistency. It's doing the right things all the time. One week you'll see a realtor with selfies. They're in the Bahamas, and they're like, hey, I'm doing it up, big stuff. I sold 3 or 4 homes last month. And then 2 months from now, they're scratching around, they don't have anything going on because they forgot to prospect while they're killing it with those 3 or 4 sales that month, right? That's the life of a realtor. What we want to do is help you build a consistent, successful business. So our coaching department, we do free weekly classes on Tuesdays, and we do free huddles Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every time you can hop in on Zoom with our whole coaching team every week or 3 times a week. Those are great coaching, group coaching sessions. If you want one-on-one training, we've got great stuff that we'll teach you, which is that one-on-one training where I'm going to get with you a couple times, once a week, a couple times a month, and I'm going to set my goals, and we're going to check in on our goals. If you want that one-on-one training, we have a small monthly fee you can do, or take a small percentage of your commission and pay it to the coaching department to have that one-on-one. So I personally would be doing the one-on-one stuff, but we provide all the group stuff and the huddles and all that for free to help you get that focus. But if you want to dive in with one of our great certified coaches, you can jump in one-on-one and do that stuff too. So we love Samson Plus and how the agents in are succeeding in so many ways. The last thing we do with our education department is mentoring. So we believe in mentors, and we have a requirement at Samson Properties that your first 2 buys and your first listing in the real estate business, you have to have a mentor. It is a 60-40, 60-40, 70-30 split for mentors. I don't get $1 of that. It all goes to the mentor. And the reason for that is this. We are very passionate about mentors, and we don't really make any exceptions for these 3 reasons. 1, I'm protecting you from yourself. If you are a brand new realtor, you might think you're a lawyer or a doctor or the smartest person in the room, and you might be, but you haven't sold real estate before. And I want to make sure we don't mess up your career before it gets started by messing up your first deal or 2. So we protect you from yourself. The second thing is we're protecting the client. If we have 500 people running around with Samson Properties on the contract, it doesn't have the agent, it doesn't say Chris McCullough on it, it says Samson Properties. It's my responsibility to make sure each client has the proper care. So I want to protect that client and make sure they've got the proper care going on, not working with a brand new realtor that doesn't know what they're doing without having a mentor holding their hand. The third reason, the reason I really don't make exceptions to the mentor program is this. It's about our reputation. We have 5,500 people walking around with Samson Properties on their business card, and I take that super seriously. A lot of people say, well, I have pride in the company I work for or pride in the company that I run. Guys, it's my last name. Nobody's going to have more pride in me. If you go to my kids' high school right now, my 2 kids are probably walking around with Samson Properties hoodies on. It's my last name wherever I am, and I want to make sure that our reputation is better today than it was yesterday, and better next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. And our 5,500 realtors want me to protect that reputation and help it become stronger every day. If we let 500 people run around and not know what they're doing and mess it up, then it's going to mess up our reputation. So I can always tell, it's going to sound harsh, but I can always tell if realtors are going to succeed or not by the way they handle the mentor thing. If they come in and they want to complain, they say, no, I'm not giving up any of my money, I know it all. You're just looking to make as much money off as you are for a couple of deals. You're not really trying to make this a career. As opposed to the agent that comes in and says, hold on, you have 100 mentors at your company. These are top flight agents that are willing to work with me one-on-one on my first 3 deals and help teach me how to do this. This is amazing. That person is going to succeed. That person has a will to build a great business as opposed to, I want to sell a couple homes and I don't really care how well I do or don't do. That's the person that we want to be here at Samson Properties. So we do stick hard to that rule because of all those reasons, but I think it's a great rule. It helps you get going on a strong note with your career. So mentor for your first 3 transactions in the business, not with us, your first 3 in the business. All right. Those are all the great things of our education. I want to pivot now to our concierge services. We have, when I was selling full-time, I had a full-time assistant, and the reason I did that is because I knew that my best use of my time and resources was not putting together the brochure or the postcard or dealing with all the little details of putting in a bright listing. People will get home from work and they'll be like, what'd you do today? And I'm like, well, I put the brochure together on my new house. Awesome. That was how you spent your 6 or 7 hours a day. I'm not sure that was the most productive use of your time. I would rather outsource that project and spend 6 or 7 hours prospecting to clients, sending out core presents, connecting with people, going and having lunch with a prospective client or a referral base. Those are the things that build business. You want to spend your time up here in the jet stream, not in the mud and all the paperwork. So why do most people not have a full-time assistant? Because it costs $50,000 a year to have an assistant, right? What if I could give you an assistant on a transaction-by-transaction basis and you could pay for it out of your closing check. Well, now that's interesting to me, right? So we have two main lanes and then some add-ons. The first one is that marketing packages, $150 or $250 a transaction, and they will do your bright listing, your brochure, your postcards, your Facebook ads. They're going to launch your listing, make it look amazing and super professional, all those things we talked about before. And you just pay $150 or $250, pay for it out of your closing check. Awesome, right? The second one is your transaction coordination. Now, this is your assistant from contract to closing, whether you're a buy-side or sell-side listing agent on the transaction. Now, right now, TCs mostly in the business cost $350, $400 each. We charge just $150 each. And why do we do that? Because we're not trying to make money off you. We're trying to help you be more successful. If I keep the price down, then it's easier for you to use it and leverage it. Now, once in a while, somebody says, oh, my company does all that for me right now. If they do, they probably charge you 20% of your commission, and it's helping to pay for that. If you pay for everything, it's $400, and you get every single service that they offer, and $400 is 4% of a $10,000 commission. I would rather pick and choose what services I want, pay 1, 2, 3, 4% of my commission for an assistant, than be charged 10 or 15 or 20% and knowing that I have to use it. So we want to make that optional to you, but super cheap prices to make that happen. The next thing we do is the a la carte stuff. So marketing items, like before I talked about just listed postcard. And say you want to do that. This is affectionately call this my Danny Samson plan, all right? My dad, he wanted to do all of the things, but he didn't want to do any of the things, right? So if you say, okay, Chris, I want to do this just listed postcard. Can you do it for me? Create the postcard, pull the addresses, just let me review it. Great, $25, bam. Easiest pie, right? We'll teach you how to do it, but if you want somebody to do it for you, everything is $25 to $100 tops. So you want them to create a postcard for you. You want them to create the brochures for you, do your bright listing, put your SkySlope stuff in, do some stuff in KV Core or Chime. We have all those things available on an a la carte basis so that you can pay a few dollars, help it get it done, and then leverage yourself to more meaningful business building activities. So we have concierge services a la carte for you as well. All right. Next thing we are very, very passionate about is your listings, your leads. So I'm going to pull a couple signs out here for you to review here. There are some companies that what they do in my mind is almost criminal. Donny, criminal is a great, well, it is, right? So they've got their company sign, and they've got their office phone number in 852 font across the middle. And then you're going to say, Donny, I got a rider on the bottom. It says my name and cell phone number. Cool. How often do they call the big phone number across the middle? Oh, but Donny, they always give me my calls. Come on now. You don't really believe that, right? Some companies' whole business plan is to take in your calls off your listings and give them to somebody else at 50-50 split. And they're like, oh, well, they're giving out leads. You know what leads they're giving out? Your listings. You're taking them off your listings, giving them to somebody else, and they're making all their money off that. That's ridiculous. There's nothing we're more passionate about than your listings, your leads. So what do we do for that? That's all your information, your cell phone, your website, all yours. We've got the office phone number on there, but who are they calling here? Sarah or our office? They're calling Sarah. They're going to Sarah's information, okay? So we take it one step further. We got 10 templates you can choose from. Use our brand. Pretty successful. We sold 8 billion homes last year. Or you want to have your own brand or you already have it? Great. These are some of one of our great teams, the Redstone Group. This is all branded to them, their information, their numbers, their websites. Look, it says Samson Properties at the bottom, their cell phone number, right? Or our office phone number. Who are they calling here? Samson or Redstone? They're calling Redstone, right? So you have your own brand. You can brand your own stuff or use our templates, but make it all about you and have it's big you, little me. All right, so I want to make sure you don't lose your listings or use any of the leads off your listings. All right, so we're passionate about that. This next page we're talking about is kind of a summary page, but it is in the book with all the different things. But a reminder of all the great free stuff we do. I'll fly through it, but free coaching and training and mentorship, one-on-one social media and technology training, free headshots, free personal video training, 300 postcards when you join Samson Properties, 200 postcards for every listing, 200 postcards for every open house, free E&O insurance, Many of you are paying $400, $500, $600 a year for E&O insurance. That is all free at Samson Properties, included in your membership fee. Free SkySlope. So SkySlope is the best national platform we think for transaction management. I think SkySlope's great. It has all the forms in there. It has DigiSign electronic signature in there for free, and we pay for it. If you love dot loop or zip forms or pen and paper, you do you. I think you should learn one of the electronic ones and not do the pen and paper for too long. But you create the contract however you want. All I need you to do with SkySlope is turn it in through SkySlope. We actually have a full-time SkySlope trainer on our staff that will teach you SkySlope 101 to make sure that you know how to use it in case you don't. But it's a great, effective software we pay for everybody. On the right side is all the tech stuff. Free Chime, free Real Scout, free KV Core, the Facebook ads, the custom websites, the market snapshots, all the millions of things that we give you with the tech stuff to help people like, oh, do you have any free leads or lead generation? There's a whole page of lead generation and free stuff we're giving you to help you generate leads there. So I love teaching you how to fish and giving you the tools to help you fish and catch as many fish as you want out there in the business. Next thing, we've got a couple other add-ons I'm starting to close up here is I've got this. Free showing team. So one of the best parts about being a realtor is you can, make your own schedule, or so we thought, right? Until we've got clients that want to see stuff on their schedule, right? So I got my kids' game tonight, and they want to see a house at 6 o'clock. Well, it doesn't work for me, right? So what do? I can upset my client, I can not go to my kid's game, or I can find another solution. And maybe you have a couple friends in the office, great, they can help you out. If not, you can have the power of 5,000 people be on your team with this showing team app that we pay for everybody. So you put it in. I need a showing in Vienna tonight, 6 o'clock. I'll pay somebody $25. Within 3 minutes, somebody's going to snap that bad boy, claim that lead. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's so cool, right? I love that. You get sick Sunday morning. It's happened to all of us, right? We wake up, we just cannot do this open house. But the open house show must go on, right? You put it out at 11 o'clock. Can somebody cover this open house in Chantilly? Bam. Goes out to everybody. Somebody's going to claim that open house within 5 minutes. Because now you're exposing it to everybody in the app, everybody that works in that area, they're going to get that notification and somebody's going to claim that right away. The other day I had, Sarah she needed to cover an open house Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at a certain house. She walked in her office, put them all in. She walked back 5 minutes later. All 3 open houses have been covered. That's the power of showing team and being able to leverage it. We've had so many people that said, it let me go on vacation. The big joke in real estate is like, you ever want to get busy? Plan a vacation, right? Because everything hits the fan Thursday or Friday before you're ready to go. Well, now people are like, I can go on vacation because you can still always talk and email with your clients. If they physically need to see something while you're gone, 2 clicks in an app and you can get it covered. And now you can have your freedom back to go live your life. So we love the Showing Team app. It's free for everybody the way it can connect everybody and have everybody help each other out. A couple other cool things we do. We have Testimonial Tree. As soon as you close a deal, we send a survey to all of your clients. We've put 20,000 positive reviews into the internet since we started this. We will send it out. We'll get the reviews for you. You can put them on your Google page, Facebook page, website, all that kind of fun stuff. Most people just don't ask for the reviews, but the clients would give them positive reviews if you asked them for it. So we'll do it for you. We have Zachem. It's a remote EMD deposit app. Zachem is a great way to be able to deposit your EMD. So you take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back, click the Samson logo, click the Cardinal Title Group logo. It goes right into escrow. So it's a great way to not have to drive your check all over town or go get your check from your client. Your client can do it, or you can do it. Take pictures of that check. If you got millennials out there that don't have checks, they can actually go in, log right into their bank account through Zachem app, and they can Z-line it over or something, but they can push it right into from here. I still have checks. I don't use them very often, but if they don't have checks, you don't have to worry. You can actually deposit money right into our account from there for EMD. We have an in-house advanced commission company. It's called Samson Now, where if you're closing a deal within Samson, as soon as you turn in your paperwork to SkySlope, you can click the I would like my advanced commission now. We can get that to you within an hour with all of our systems, make it cheaper, faster, and easier for you. Charge you just typically an 8% rate on that money ahead of time, whereas a lot of brokerages, a lot of companies out there are charging 10, 12, 15%. If you also all this extra paperwork, it's a whole menace. All you got to do is bam, hit one button, we'll get it to you within an hour, advance your money to you, so it's really slick. A couple other last add-ons we have. Look, at Samson, we want to help you get to as many kitchen tables as possible to meet the buyers, meet the sellers, create new business. A couple other things that help you do that in your advertising is we have a partnership with Curbio. It's called Samson Solutions. This is a company that will come in and fix up the closing or fix up the house. You can pay for it at closing. So now you can advertise on all your advertisements. I have a company that will fix up your house and pay for it at closing. Most buyers and sellers would admit, yeah, I could use $15,000 of work. It'll get me $30,000 or $40,000 for my house. They just don't have the 15 grand. They don't want to pay for it right now. But if somebody will come in and do the work, take it at the 15 grand out of their equity when they sell the house, that's a win-win for everybody, right? So Curbio will do that for you. The last thing we have with this is Samson Instant Offers. You can now advertise. I have somebody who will give you an all-cash offer. I have a guarantee buy, guarantee sell program. Now, most people won't love the all-cash offer, but you have it available to you on Samson Instant Offers if you want to. They also have a bridge program where they will buy your home, so you can go buy, you can rent it back and go buy that next home. If people are weary, they want to go buy a home, but they're not willing to put their house on the market until they know what that is, great. They'll come in, they'll buy the home for you, cost you 2 or 3% transaction fee, but then you can go out and buy that next home whenever you want to instead of when you have to. So a lot of great opportunities within Samson Instant Offers and Samson Solutions to get to more kitchen tables. Now, when you get to the kitchen table, they might not want to use any of these programs, but if you can advertise them in all your advertisement, it helps you get more interviews, which is what you want to do. A couple last closing thoughts. We do have health insurance as part of Samson Properties. We don't fund it, but because we've gotten so big, you can call through the Samson line there, and they've got group plans available for all of our agents, which is super cool. And then I think we have one. That was it. Okay, so right here, we're going to give you a quick overview of the Cardinal Nest. So I'm not going to go over every little thing in here, but I wanted to explain that all the things we've talked about over this hour and a half presentation seems like a lot. It's like, how am I going to find all of these things, right? The Cardinal Nest is the hub of our wheel. Every single thing I've talked about is on this website. Easy to find. We've got the latest videos on the front. We've got message boards. We've got a page for every office location that you can go to and find 24/7 how to get into that office, how to do the Wi-Fi, how to do the print. Anything you want is on that office location page. We've got every postcard, every brochure, every template. Everything is in the Cardinal Nest. Easy to find. Calendar of all the events, all that kind of fun stuff. When I designed the Cardinal Nest, I designed it with one idea in mind. Could my dad use it? If my dad could use the Cardinal Nest and find what he was looking for, then we were doing okay with it. So once you sit down and join Samson, the first thing you do is you look at the Cardinal Nest, you get an overview of where to find all this great stuff that we've talked about here today on the Cardinal Nest. In closing, I like to close up with this thought. All the things I've talked about over the last hour and a half has been how can we give more to you? How can we help you sell more homes? How can we take less of your money and help you make more money? For all these things that we've offered for free or super cheap or whatever it is, we only ask one thing in return. Please try and use Cardinal Title Group. I can't make you, I can't pay you, I can't incentivize you to use Cardinal Title Group. All those things are illegal. But if we kill you with great tools and great resources and let you keep all your money, people will be like, how can I help? Use Cardinal. They do a great job? Awesome. I'll keep using them. Then we take those profits and make it a win-win circle for everybody. A couple of notes I'll make on Cardinal. One, they are great pros. 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would admit that we were at times a C, C+, B- title company. We were learning how to do it. We were figuring it out. Today, we are an A+ title company all over our footprint. For one reason and one reason only, people. We have hired great, great people, and they've come from great recommendations from our realtors that said, hey, you need to talk to Debbie. You need to talk to Carrie. You need to hire this person. And then we hire them, and our whole level of service continues to pick up with every new great person. I say that for a reason is know that we're going to take good care of you. But two, if you've got somebody out there right now in the title world and you love them and that's why you don't want to leave your current company, ask them if they'd be willing to talk to me because I will do whatever I can to bring them to Samson. I'll take their salary. I'll put a little bit more on and say, come join our family because I know the number one reason we're going to continue to fly at Samson is if Cardinal Title Group does an amazing job like they are for all of our clients, then people are going to continue to bring their clients to Cardinal Title Group because they're going to take A+ care of them, and it's going to be a revolving circle that continues to grow itself. So I want those great people. The other last thing I would say is if you're out there and you're like, I don't know, I don't want to, you don't have to use Cardinal. But I would ask this of you if you're joining and you love somebody else. Give us a taste. Give us every fourth deal. Give us every third deal. Let us earn some of your business. If we earn it, great. If you still love your other person, you just give us every third or fourth deal for the rest of all time, great. Give us what you can. But we'll continue to take great care of you. We have great locations all over. We use Qualia, which is the best secure software out there. And we do a great job taking care of all of our clients. So that's our big ask, is try to use Cardinal Title Group, and we'll take that stuff to pour back into you all. As are all the millions and millions of words that I chose to say to you all to get today, I kind of close with two things. One, thank you again for your time. Your time is your most valuable asset, and you spent so much of it learning about Samson today, and I really appreciate that. The last thing I say is a promise. I promise that if you join Samson, nobody will work harder every day, every week, and every month to create a better company for you, for all realtors out there. I want to create a better company every day for our realtors to succeed and thrive and build a better business for themselves. So thanks so much for coming today and hearing all about Samson and watching online. And hopefully I'll see you in the Samson Properties hallway someday soon. Take care.